You are Locked On Syracuse, your daily podcast on the Syracuse Orange. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You got a ceiling where everything breaks right. You got a floor where a lot of things break wrong. You meet in the middle, and you get yourself a win prediction. So with Syracuse, my ceiling is 23 regular season wins. So 23-8 in the regular season. That puts them, I think, on the border at least of top 25. It might be top 25 altogether. And my floor is 15 regular season wins, so slightly under 500. That is an average of 19 regular season wins, meaning Syracuse in the regular season would go 19-12. Now the question is this: is 19 regular season wins enough to put Syracuse basketball in the NCAA tournament? I think there are a couple of factors with this. Number one, does the NCAA tournament expand for 2026? Because if the tournament expands to 76 teams, then 19 regular season wins, I think, puts them at least on the bubble. It will give them a chance, definitely, to make the NCAA tournament. We'll get into one of the other factors in just a moment here. It kind of goes in line with the 19 wins. But it makes it so that maybe a decent showing in the ACC tournament would be enough to propel Syracuse in a 76-team field. If it remains at 68, though, 19 wins is most likely not going to make it for the tournament. They would probably need to win the ACC outright in order to do so. And number two, style points matter. See, that's one of the big differences between college sports and pro sports. In pro sports, when they're determining who makes the playoffs, it's based on purely merit. It's your win-loss record. And then there's tiebreakers beyond that, whether it's how you did head-to-head, how you did in division, how you did in your conference, what was your point differential. All those things factor in. But it's based on merit. Style points do not matter in pro sports as in regard to making the playoffs. In college sports, they do. In college sports, there are so many teams that there's got to be many different ways to try to determine who makes an NCAA tournament and who doesn't make an NCAA tournament. There are over 300 college basketball teams. Even if the tournament expands to 76, think about how many would have a case to be the 76th team. Style points definitely matter. So with Syracuse, let's say they win 19 regular season games. Well, who do they beat? Do they include wins over Tennessee and Duke? Because that would certainly enhance their case. Who do they lose to? Who are their 12 losses? Because if they lose to Binghamton and Drexel, they're not getting in with 19 wins. How does Syracuse win? How does Syracuse lose? Remember last year, they beat Youngstown State in double overtime, right? At least they got a win. But honestly, that pretty much hurt them in the net rankings. That hurt their efficiency. More so than losing a game outright to a team like Texas Tech, because Texas Tech is a really good team. Syracuse lost pretty close to them last season. That's better than barely beating Youngstown State. So style points matter in college sports. And so even though I say, hey, Syracuse 19-12 is my prediction, does the tournament expand? How do they get to 19 wins? What's their pathway? I think those are really the factors when deciding whether or not Syracuse actually makes the tournament or not. But overall, I think they'll be better than last year, which is good because last year they could not be much worse. But I am kind of projecting with my 19-12 record that they are not going to have a miserable year. Last year was miserable, but they will have a frustrating year. In 2024, in my eyes at least, and maybe you feel differently, and certainly looking back on it, it doesn't feel like this, but I kind of considered it a success. Adrian Autry was in year one, and they won 20 games in the regular season for the first time since 2014. That's a fact. So even though they didn't make the NCAA tournament, they still qualified for the NIT had they wanted to go to the NIT. They didn't. Okay? But that was year one of Adrian Autry. Then year 2 happens, and it's a bad year, miserable year. Winning 19, 20 regular season games, if there's no NCAA tournament attached with it, it doesn't really mean anything. It really doesn't. So that's why I'm saying I think this could be a year where they might pick up some good wins. They'll be better than last season. They'll definitely be more enjoyable to watch. But I don't know if they're an NCAA tournament team, at least right now on paper. I don't think I can get there just yet with Syracuse basketball.